Hello and welcome back to this YouTube channel. My name is Anubhav and today I'm going to talk to you about remote access VPN on next generation firewall virtual in Amazon Web Services. Before I discuss remote access VPN, I just want to step back and talk to you what kind of problem we are trying to solve here. So now you can place firewalls at the edge. In this example, you can see I have firewall 1 and firewall 2 protecting my virtual private cloud from any kind of attacks coming from internet, and this device is being used as my VPN concentrator as well. Now, problem that we are trying to solve here is we have a VPN profile. In VPN profile, we are going to add 2 VPN peers. So if first VPN peer is not available, my remote access VPN users will still connect to second VPN peer. Now in this example, you can see that I have firewall 1 and firewall 2, and each firewall has its own VPN pool. So VPN pool for firewall 1 is 10.82.100/24, and VPN pool for firewall 2 is 10.82.101.0/24. Accordingly, if I have routes in my route table, so if you look at route table, I have a route going to 10.82.100.0/24 going to ENI or interface ID of my firewall 1's inside interface. Accordingly, or similarly, I have another route which points back to inside interface of firewall 2. And in my VPN profile, I've specified 2 VPN peers. Users will try to connect to firewall 1. In case firewall 1 is not available, users will then fall back to firewall 2. And in my internal network, I have a web application 192.168.3.100. I'm running IIS service on this web server. Now let's look at our AWS console. So you can see that I'm in my Amazon Web Services console. First thing that I want to show you is my virtual private cloud. So I've created a virtual private cloud for this demo, and you can see that CIDR range is 192.168.00/16, and I have 4 subnets there: inside, outside, management, and diagnostic subnets. So all these subnets are in my virtual private cloud. Now I will show you my internet gateway as well. This internet gateway is attached to my virtual private cloud for providing internet connectivity. I have a route table. If you look at this route table, it is being mapped with my virtual private cloud, and if you look at routes, there is a local route which is installed by default for entire CIDR range. I have a default route pointing to IGW, and then I have 2 routes for my VPN pool. And if you look at ENI for each route, these ENIs are pointing back to my firewall 1 and firewall 2. This route table is associated to all the subnets in my virtual private cloud. So I showed you this route table because I want to show you how traffic is being routed. Now what I will do is I will show you my Ec2 instances. If you look at instances, I have 5 instances in my VPC. First one is my Active Directory server, where I have my users for external authentication. I have Firepower Management Center, which is being used for managing my next generation firewalls. I have next generation firewall 1 with 4 interfaces. ETH0 is my management interface with public IP address. I have another interface which is ETH2, and it also has some public IP address for VPN peer. Now if you look at second firewall as well, there is a public IP address for management, and there is another public IP address on outside interface which is going to act as VPN peer. Apart from that, I also have web server 01, which is there, and I'm showing you Firepower Management Center as well. In Firepower Management Center, I have public IP address for management. Now let's go ahead and access Firepower Management Center as well. I'll go to device management and show you all the devices which are being managed by this Firepower Management Center. You can see that I have added 2 devices here in the Firepower Management Center, and these 2 firewalls are at the edge in the routing mode, providing VPN functionality as well as firewall functionality. Now let's go ahead and look at remote access VPN configuration on each device. I have created 2 VPN policies, one for each firewall. Now let's go inside VPN policy and look at what exactly is configured there. So now if I go ahead and click edit on this policy, I just want to show you that I have a VPN pool 1082.100.0/24, and this VPN pool is outside of the CIDR range of my virtual private cloud. I also have a group policy. I'm going to show you group policy when I will show you policy of my second firewall. If you look here on the second firewall, what I see is another VPN pool 1082.101.0/24, and let me go to group policy as well to show you what exactly is configured inside the group policy. So I'll just show you that group policy, and you can see in my group policy I have AnyConnect profile associated. So this AnyConnect profile was created in AnyConnect profile creator, and this is my final version of the AnyConnect profile. You can see I have a primary VPN peer which is .150 and my secondary VPN peer is .37. So in case first VPN peer is not available, I'm going to connect to my second VPN peer. So what I'll do is I'll go to my first firewall and go to that external interface, which is my outside interface. I'll copy this IP address and use my AnyConnect VPN client to connect back to my AWS cloud. So I'm going to provide my VPN username and password. You can see that I'm now connected, and I will try to access my application as well. So I'm now connected. I have access to my internal network, so I'll try to ping my application server, which is 192.168.3.100, and that's my application server or web server. I'm going to copy this IP address and try to access this website as well. You can see I have proper connection to my IIS services as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my Firepower Management Center, and in order to show you failover or fallback of VPN device, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable external interface or shut down external interface of my primary device, so that first VPN peer becomes unreachable and all the subsequent VPN connections will fall back to firewall 2. So what I've done is I have initiated a deployment which will go ahead and disable external interface of firewall 1. So let's wait and ensure that interface is down. Once that interface is down, I will try to initiate VPN connection again. And let's look at my policy deployment as well. So this policy is being deployed. 95% of it is already deployed. It is taking 40 seconds to deploy it. So now I can see that policy is now deployed. My external interface should be in admin shutdown mode now. So what I will do is I will try to connect again to that IP address of my primary VPN peer. That interface is in admin shutdown. So you can see that primary VPN peer is not reachable, and my VPN AnyConnect VPN client is trying to contact that VPN peer. But what will happen is it will wait for some time, and then once it will not get any reply back from the VPN device, it is going to fall back to my second VPN IP address. You can see that it has already contacting .37, which is my secondary VPN peer. Now you can see that I'm connected to that network again. Let me see if I can ping my web server again, which is 192.168.3.100, and yes, it is pingable. Let me see if I can access that server as well. So you can see that now I'm able to access my server even when I'm connected to my second device, and you can see that I have IP from 1082.101.1, which is a VPN pool defined on firewall 2. So this is how you can enable fallback. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.